So in this day of age, you are probably looking for a smart device that can work with your TV, your receiver, and all of the kind of things. And more than likely, you have come across this guy. And in this video, I'm going to be going over my experience of using this guy since its release date 3 months ago, and to see if this is something that you need to have for yourself. How's it going, everybody? My name is DuShaun, and today we're going to be going over the Amazon Fire TV Cube and why this may be a perfect fit for you. So the Amazon Fire TV Cube has been my living room controller, as you could say. At first I had it hooked up to a receiver, and then now it's hooked up to the TV with just the Sonos play bar and everything. And so I've used it in a lot of different configurations. I've been able to enjoyably use the Amazon AI system as a way of controlling a lot of the aspects to it. And quite frankly, that is probably the reason why you're probably looking at this device, is that it promises the aspect of you being able to control your living room as well as a lot of the electronics through the Amazon AI. And purposely, I'm not going to say the keyword just because I have too many around me right now and I don't want them going off in the video. So I'm not gonna really go over the specs of the Amazon TV Cube just because I don't really feel like it's necessary. All you really need to take from this cube compared to all the other things that you probably see online is that A, it could do 4K, B, it's pretty much like the other Fire TV, the products that they have. It can be connected with the HDMI port and Ethernet port since it is just the box itself, and it has an IR blaster for being able to shoot beams over to other devices that can take IR. So it does work out really well, especially when it comes to setting the device up. As soon as you take it out of the box and plug it in, it pretty much boots up and all that, and even shows you instructions on how to get it going. It even goes through the process of being able to make sure it can switch between the different ports, as well as turn the TV on and off and all the other kind of things through voice activation. However, if you want to work for other devices, that is something that needs to come later in the settings menu. So my experience with the Amazon Fire TV Cube somewhat has been pretty pleasant. As far as its basic design of being a smart product, it works. Sometimes I do feel like some of the apps probably need to be developed better, like the Crunchyroll app and how much it keeps crashing sometimes and all that. But going through the content and everything, I really didn't have that many issues working with it. Now then, probably one of the biggest reasons for buying the Amazon Fire TV Cube is so you can control stuff. Turn on the TV.
Okay.
That's probably the cool factor of the entire product, and honestly, the only reason why you probably pick this over a lot of the other smart devices in this product line, especially this price now that it comes at $120. So I really kind of want to hit it on this aspect, because honestly, everything else you're pretty much gonna be buying, the same product just in a different body. So how I see it, it really needs to sell at the cool factor it is trying to sell, and that's what most of my experience is going to be on. First, controlling it with the Amazon AI. There are times where it works out really well and is very clear, but with a lot of different issues that the Amazon AI has, it doesn't sometimes understand what you're saying. The more specific your commands are, the harder it is going to be able to kind of go the right way. With it, you can pretty much change channels on your cable box, change inputs and everything, but you got to make sure that you know the names of the products as well as saying the names of the channels very clearly. Also, you might run into the problem that it might not understand your cable box, so you might have to find the manufacturer of the cable box and let the Amazon Fire TV Cube know which one it is, so that way it has an easier chance of working with it. Also, a little tip for the Amazon Fire TV Cube: when it comes to the IR blaster, it doesn't work if it's in a closed space, and I mean the thing tells you not to put it in a closed space, but even in some spots where it looks like it can work, it's honestly better to either have the device right next to it or in a kind of facility where there is no wall in between the device you're trying to control and pretty much it itself. So are there any other problems to that? Well, not all the apps are voice controlled, and I kind of think that's a little bit weird that none of them can accept input commands. even though that's pretty much what they kind of show off, is you're able to scroll in between menus, you're able to go next, hit number 5. Like some of the stuff that you could do with the Amazon Show, you should be able to do with this, and it doesn't work for everything. Honestly, you still have to have a remote in order to actually really control it and fix a lot of the issues, so you can't get rid of your TV remote anytime soon. So unless you're only going to be on the Prime videos and everything, you're probably not going to be able to use the voice control for a lot of different apps in the system. Another thing I really do want to hit on is volume control. In the Amazon Fire TV Cube settings, you should be able to go and pretty much control the increments of how the volume goes up and down. However, I find this to be really stressful because A, it doesn't do that very well. B, it doesn't increment as well as the number that you put it for. And C, you can't control volume with percentage. Normally when you use a lot of the other smart devices, even other Amazon devices, you should be able to control the volume just by saying change it to 20%. But in this case you can, and honestly, if you have a lot of different devices that have its own volume controls, it's not going to be able to control all of it. So your audio is going to be very unbalanced depending on if you switch to different video channels. For instance, going to the cable box and then going back to the Fire TV itself. Also, the controller that comes with the Amazon Fire TV Cube has no volume control, so either you have to do it through voice or you have to find another way of controlling the volume yourself. One good thing is that it does work well with the receiver, and it understands that with your receiver it probably has its own HDMI inputs, and they're probably even labeled more convenient names. So when you do set up the Amazon Fire TV Cube with the receiver, of course you got to make sure the receiver is in the arc position on your television, and let the Amazon Fire TV Cube what position it is on the receiver. That way it always knows how to go home. For other things, you need to let it know, like say if you were trying to connect the PlayStation and you have the PlayStation on the receiver, you need to make sure that it's on the either the right signal point, like maybe if it's like Blu-ray because you don't have PlayStation on the receiver, you need to make sure that it's on the Blu-ray slot. And yes, you do need to make sure that you have both of them, because if you say HDMI 2 when everything's going through HDMI 4, you're already going to break it at that point. But let's say if you choose video 1 and your Blu-ray setting on the receiver is actually video 2, it's also not going to work in that case either. So there is one point I do want to hit on at the end when I'm talking about my experience, and that is I don't like the fact that the Amazon AI that's on this device isn't working as well as the Amazon AI on my other devices. A lot of things the Cube cannot do is the fact that it can't read messages back to me. What's my message?
Messaging with Alexa is not supported on this device. You can use the Alexa app instead.
It should be a cloud-based setup. Everything should be up there, and just it asks for information, comes back and then say it out. But I guess Amazon has it set up differently because I just don't understand why that device can't. But what it can do is if you have the Amazon Cloud Cam, it can actually switch to that just by saying the name, and you can get the Cloud Cam's image on the television screen, which is pretty cool if you have this set up in your, personal bedroom. So my conclusions about the Amazon Fire TV Cube: I like it, but when it comes to a lot of the features that it's promising, it's not hitting those features 100%. And I feel like with a lot of the hiccups that the product still has, it really kind of irks you to kind of buy a product that's $120 and it's not working flawlessly. Especially when you compare the Amazon Fire TV coming in about $64 and could do 4K content, plus it also hides behind the television. You can't come up with $60 and say, well, you pay $60 so you can turn on and off the television on command, especially if there's other Google products that can do that for less money. So do I recommend this or not? It's really hard to say, because honestly, if you don't have any other smart devices, if you don't have pretty much any of the Fire TVs and you just want this to kind of replace, the Amazon Fire TVs in your house, then, sure, go for it. But if you're not that strong to have an Amazon product like this in your house, I feel like you're probably going to want to skip out on this one and go for the other products that are a little bit cheaper that actually deliver you what matters most. So that's it for this video, and everybody, thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you feel like anybody can really kind of use this right now, please share it with them, and if you really love the content, please subscribe to the channel. Also, I have a new merch store out right now where you can get shirts like this that are very comfortable, as well as hoodies, mugs, and stickers. So if you want to support the channel a little bit extra than subscribing, then go ahead and pick up one of these bad boys and just feel all kinds of comfortable like I am when I was taking this video. With that being said, hopefully everything that you saw today will help you make a better and more informed decision tomorrow.